And I have joining me at the moment Chief Amah Abraham. He is the acting publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party here in the state. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining in.
Good morning. It's my pleasure for you to have me this morning.
All right, let's jump on it without much ado. I don't know what you make of the statement. I'm very certain you've been following the discussions this morning. What do you make of the various statements accredited to Chief Umeh Kalu, especially pointing at issues under the watch of the current administration of Dr. Okeze Ikpeazu, from the conduct of the local government elections to the several projects the amiable governor of the state will want to commission before he exits the office, and as well some other issues? What do you make of the entire thing?
Well, the truth is that the statement credited to the learned state is quite unfortunate. Unfortunate in the sense that as I speak to you, we are all aware that Governor Okeze Ikpeazu is a two-time governor, and his tenure will formally, in line with the constitution of our country, will formally end on the 29th of May 2023. And as the popular saying goes, it is not over until it is over. He remains the president, and he has a responsibility to run the affairs of the state till that date. And as we speak, there is a subsisting appropriation bill. There is a subsisting budget. The governor will not, because he will be exiting office on the 29th of May, stop doing those things he's supposed to do to please anybody. So the government is on, and he will continue to manage the affairs of the government, notwithstanding what the likes of Umeh thinks or may want to insinuate in such actions. The actions from such persons are not being done in good faith.
Okay, still staying with that very publication accredited to you, you described the outburst as biting the fingers that fed him. Some will feel that is unprecedented. What do you mean by that?
Now, listen to me, my brother. As I speak to you, the personality we are talking about is somebody who was appointed an attorney general by the government of His Excellency Senator T.O.G. I recall, as soon as the announcement for that appointment was made, there was a protest all over Abia State by the Nigerian Association, who had at that time described Umeh Kalu they described him as a personality who does not have what it takes to manage that office. And for whatever reason, the distinguished, His Excellency at that time withstood the storm and went ahead, and he was screened by the State House of Assembly. He became an Attorney General. He was not the senior advocate of Nigeria. On the course of his service, he spent 10 years in that office, about 10 years in that office. And in line with some other extant rules, that makes somebody who has spent a certain number of years as Attorney General in the state an automatic member of the Council of Benchers. Umeh Kalu became a life bencher as we speak. And while in that office, he also became a senior advocate of Nigeria. And if you look at the processes that makes somebody become a senior advocate, you find out that part of the things he tendered are his service in the state for that number of years, which we'll look at. So the state gave him the platform, and his person cannot today make any claim for whatever without, if he has achieved anything in life as a person, in career, or even materially, I think over 80% of what he has achieved is connected to Abia state government. So when we we say that he's biting the finger that fed him, we are not making an overstatement. He was in the PDP all these years, has run a very bad government. Umeh Kalu was part of that bad government. If the PDP has run a good government, he is also part of that good government. He cannot disassociate himself from the product, from whatever the PDP government has delivered over the years. He cannot, because there is no single individual in history who has been privileged to be part of Abia state government for that long as a commissioner, a prime commissioner, a commissioner, attorney general for 8 years. And even if you look at, you go through the 36 states of Nigeria, you will also find out that it is very, very, very difficult for you to see anybody who has been so privileged to hold such a privileged office as attorney general for 10 good years. Nobody. So there is no basis for his ranting. There is no basis for his for doing what he is doing.
Are you saying, Chief Amah, now, are you saying that even though he benefited quite a lot from the state, he shouldn't say what he feels is right in the event that, according to him, such things are not going to plan, or possibly not to the tickle of the fancy of the state? Is that what you're saying? He should,
the point here is that if he is saying what is right, it's a different thing. But everything he's saying is not right. Number one, he is asking critical questions why the governor is committed to deliver certain projects, that he should not do those things because he's going. So everything should just remain the way they are, and let him just, but he will enjoy the benefit of office as a governor between now and the remaining days in office. But he should not work. But the governor is saying, there is a story about the First Lady of the United States of America who was planting flower at the premises of the White House on the eve of the expiration of the husband's tenure in office as the President of the United States of America. So there is nothing which is wrong. Governor Bazo can commission a project on the 28th of May 2023. As far as the status books are concerned, he will not be doing anything wrong by so doing. And until that day, he remains the governor, executive governor of Abia State. And he remains with the seal. Until that day, he remains the visitor to Abia State University. Until that day, he has all the constitutional powers vested on his person by the Constitution to act as the governor of Abia State. And when somebody begins to try to, by any means, undermine what he is doing, then that person cannot be said to be doing the right thing. We welcome creative criticism. And in the days ahead, that is what we are going to provide for Abians. Okay. As soon as Governor Alex Oti is sworn into office,
so the PDP
does the right thing.
Not to drag the words out of your mouth, so the People's Democratic Party in the state are gearing up to play opposition in the nearest future. Is that what they're saying?
We have already put in every machinery. You understand? In the next few days, most of these information will be made public. We are gearing up, pending when we will take up our responsibility again, because we are going back to government house. But that is not the issue to discuss now. We are going in a very short while. We are taking back our mandate.
Let me sincerely appreciate Chief Abraham Amah. He is the PDP Vice Chairman and Acting Publicity Secretary of that very party here in the state. Thank you for speaking to us this morning, and of course bearing your mind on issues as it has to do with the current administration in the wake of some controversies. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you this morning.